Welcome back to Digital Champions here on Daily Ad Brief. I'm Howard Walpoff, your host. We're talking about digital marketing around the country. And today we're in Houston, Texas with Jeremy Ruan from JRBA. And Jeremy, welcome to our conversation today.
You know what, Howard? Thank you so much for having me. I'm just excited to have this conversation about where marketing is taking us in today.
Well, we appreciate having you and excited to learn a lot more about you. So why don't we start with, where did you get started? How did you get started in the marketing and digital marketing industry?
Well, yeah, actually, it was actually a previous profession of mine. I got my start actually in professional sports, working for the Houston Rockets, Houston Dash, Dynamo, and as well as the Sugarland Skeeters at the time, which had recently rebranded into the Space Cowboys, Sugarland Space Cowboys, which is the official AAA affiliate for the Houston Astros.
There's a lot of things you can learn working in the world of sports. I come from sports and the minor league baseball world as well, so I definitely get it. You wear a lot of hats and you learn a lot of techniques that you take on into different areas. So tell us about how you took what you learned into starting an agency and the things you're starting to do with your clients.
Well, actually, I started in the grassroots, to be honest with you, Howard. I started as an intern, worked my way up. In 6 months, I was able to get a promotion with the Houston Rockets into the direct assistant of the entertainment director, which is still in the marketing branch for the organization, where I had to learn pretty much visual identity, marketing communications, diversity and inclusion, how to really integrate your messaging with what your audience are already interested in, or maybe kind of steer their thought process and the psychological thoughts of a consumer, and making them interested in what you had to offer them. So, but yes, in sports, it's definitely a lot of hats you have to wear.
It's so many different ways to get a message out there and to really focus on the different audience that you have within the, not just the arena, but the TV world as well. Getting that message out there, TV and radio, for those that hopefully will come to a game the next time around. And I'm sure that there's a lot of things you translate that with your clients now. And why don't you share what does your digital world look like these days?
So yeah, because of the experience I was able to garner working for such established entities and organizations, I was able to pretty much build a really strong skill set and start my own branding agency where I assist business owners of all sizes, organizations, where it could be a nonprofit organization, or actually one of my clients is a record label, a gospel record label. So it was really just being able to actually be able to stop and say, all right, what is it that we're trying to offer to our communities? What is it that our communities already have an interest in, and how can we build a bridge to meet them there?
And it's so important that each of these clients have different stories to tell, and finding the right ways to tell that story is so very important to hit those communities. What are some of the avenues you're using to get those messages across to your clients these days?
So, right, that's where you get into marketing communication. And whenever I have a client come in, we start off with a phase one discovery call where we just go ahead and say, all right, what is our objective? What are our benchmarks? What is it that we're trying to truly accomplish? Because when we talk about marketing, so many individuals think it's like a black magic taboo type of thing where I can just throw $100 or $1,000, whatever the marketing budget may be, and I just instantly get results. And honestly, as a marketer, unfortunately, it's not how it works. And you got to really understand what is your true goals and what is it that's going to take to get there. So it could be social media sprints. It could be something more on the advertising side where we reach out to media entities and outlets like this one and try to get an interview schedule to reach a certain market or masses that might not be on digital spaces like Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, it's trying to really find the right way to message and get a whole campaign accomplished, not just throwing some dollars here and there. It's really valuable to know what can work and resonate with the audience your clients are trying to reach. As you're looking back at the things you've done and the things you're doing right now, where do you see some of the focus moving forward that you're going to find the best ways to assist your clients in getting their message out there?
So it goes right back down to really understanding our industry. Who is it that we're speaking to? Because whoever we're speaking to can really tell us what the trends are in that market industry. It could be someone that's Generation Z and just loves the metaverse. Well, how can we find out a really interactive way to market in the metaverse? You know, that's something that's really taken over. It's kind of like the internet back in the day where no one really was interested in getting computers or being on the internet. And now everyone has the email blast. So it's the same thing with the metaverse. How can we possibly market to someone that's going to be in that metaverse majority of the time and then find a way to connect them that way? It could be someone that's um, 80 years old and still does traditional radio. We can reach out to them in that way. So it's really understanding what your true industry and the audience is that you're trying to speak to and say, okay, this is where our audience is. This is how we need to go ahead and build that bridge to get with them.
I've always been a big believer that you have to market your products to people the way they want to be marketed to, and finding that right mix is extremely important. And it sounds like you really have some great answers for your clients and great direction that you're providing and moving them in to get the responses that they're looking for. So we really appreciate you coming on with us today and sharing your story and sharing all the great things you're doing for your clients.
Awesome. I really thank you for your time, Howard, and thank you for bringing me on to the Digital Champions family.
And we appreciate having you, and thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for joining us as well. It's really important to know what your story is, but how to tell it and how to find that audience to listen to it. You want to make sure that they're responding and you're finding the right channels to get that message out. So there's more information about JRBA here in Daily Ad Brief, who can help direct you in those channels to find your audience and tell your story. But go out, have a great rest of today, and we'll see you next time on Digital Champions.